Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David, and in this video I'm going to show you how to play Skyjo, a card game for 2 up to 8 players. Each player will have 12 cards in front of them, but you don't know the numbers that are on them. And during the game you will switch out cards with the draw deck or the discard pile and placing cards face up. Once a player has placed all his cards face up, the round will end, and then you hope to have the least amount of points in front of you. So please let me show you how it's played. If you're familiar with games like Silver or King Fridge, this is a kind of a basic version of that game. There are no action cards in this game, although there is a version Skyjo Action where you have action cards, but for now this is the base game. So it's a very light game, and the only interaction you have with other players is by placing your card on the discard pile for the next player. At the start of the game, all players will get 12 cards and put them in front of them like this. And these cards go from -2 up to 12 points, and there are multiple couples of each number in the set. We place the top card of the draw deck face up, so this is the discard pile. And also all players will randomly place 2 cards already face up, and it's up to you which 2 cards you want to place face up. So let's do this one and this one. When it's your turn, you can choose to either take the top card of the discard pile or take the top card of the draw pile. The aim of the game is at the end of the round have the least amount of numbers in front of you. So in this case we have already 14 points, and we don't know the points that are underneath these cards. Once a player has all his cards face up, all other players will get one more turn, and then you have to flip over all your remaining face down cards, and then we're going to count points, and then you want to have the least amount of points possible. When you take the top card from the discard pile, you have to replace it with one of your cards. This can be a face up card or a face down card. So in this case I'm going to replace this number 1 with this number 7, because this is less points. And the number 7 goes on top of the discard pile. But when it's your turn, you can also take the top card from the draw pile. And now you can decide if you want the card or not. If I want the card, I have to exchange it with one of my cards again in my tableau. And since it's a high number, I think I'm gonna replace it with one of the cards I don't know. Maybe I can discard a number 12. Or I can say this card is too high, I do not want it. I'll place it on the discard pile, but then I have to flip one card face up in my tableau. So let's do this one. Oops, should have switched it out for the number 8, but of course you have no idea what's underneath the cards. So the next time it's my turn, I will draw this card. Hey, it's a -1, very nice. Of course I'm gonna replace it for the number 12. And now my score at the moment is 8 minus 1 is 7. I forgot to mention, the starting player of the round is the player who has the most points visible when you open up the 2 cards at the start of the game. And from then on, the player that ends the round is the starting player for the next round. And so, game continues, but there is one special rule, and that is if you get 3 numbers on top of each other. Let's see if I can switch it around. If you manage to get 3 cards of the same number on top of each other, so I'll draw a card, I'll replace it with this one. Now I have a triplet of number 7s in a vertical row. Then they get removed to the discard pile on top of the card I discarded first. So 21 points are gone from my tableau, which is very good of course. And that is why you have to pay some attention to the cards you put on the discard pile, because maybe another player can use that card to complete his triplet. And that's why it doesn't have to be a bad thing if you have some high numbers in your grid, because once you get 2 of the same numbers, you're gonna hunt for the third one to get your triplet complete and have them removed from the game. And like I said, game continues until one player has placed all his cards face up. Then all other players get one more turn, and then we're gonna score points. And you're simply gonna score the points of the cards that are open in front of you. So in this case, which is not all too well, because we have this number 11 over here, we have 8, 7, 8, 15, 16, 27 points scored for this round. You're gonna write that down, and we're gonna start a new round. One exception, if you are the player who ended the game, Make sure you have the least points of everybody. If only one player has an equal or lower total value of points scored this round, the player who ended the round has to double his score if he scored a positive amount of points. If that player had 0 or a negative score, those points are not doubled, only if he has positive numbers and he is not the player who has the least points this round. And you're gonna play as much rounds as needed until one player reaches 100 points or more. Once that happened, the player who had the least points is the winner of the game. And that is how you play a game of Skyjo. Very basic. You draw one card from the draw pile or from the discard pile, and you switch it with one of your cards in your tableau. Unless you take the top card of the draw deck and you don't want it, then you put it on the discard pile and you have to place one of your cards face up that is still face down. If you want a little more interaction by adding special cards that give you an extra turn, or you can mess a little with the tableau of your opponents, then you have to take the Skyjo action card version. But for now, this is the easy, basic, cozy Skyjo the card game. If you have any questions about this game, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is David, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.